Welcome to part 2 of the series where I will show you how to insert the Ezreal CarController into your scene, adjust the controls, and use a VR camera as the primary camera in the scene. Alright, so first things first, go to the asset store. Of course, when you get the Ezreal CarController asset, you should here make sure that's in your project. You should be able to find it in your assets. Let's see here, Ezreal CarController. Here it is. Alright, materials, meshes, prefabs, and then there's the electric truck prefab. Should be able to, let's just start from here, place the car down on the road. First be your first time access Text Mesh Pro, yep. Make sure to import Text Mesh Pro Essentials. Alright, there's the electric truck. There's its main camera. You should be able to... Let's get rid of this camera right here. Delete. Should already have a bunch of premium... Yep, there we are. Camera doesn't follow the truck, sadly. But you are able to already be able to control it from default. See, control to shift and reverse. Yep, there's all the controls visible on screen. It's very, very nice. Alright, so for whenever you create a new project, make sure that you have the XR plugin system installed. So you just go to Edit, Project Settings, XR Plugin Management, and then install Plugin Management. It'll take a good while. Make sure you have XR Interaction Toolkit installed. I decided to just go with Open XR. And then you should check Project Validation and make sure to fix Features menu, Enabled Interaction Profiles. Let's see here, Oculus Touch Controllers, Microsoft Hand Interact Controllers. We're just going to go with the Oculus Touch Controller profile. Next step with the Ezreal CarController, just go to Cockpit, Points. We can create a... We want to create a new empty object. We're just going to call it a XR Origin. Because this is where we're going to have the script. So we can just add component. XR Origin script. Here we go. Camera. With this camera, we can just add the cockpit camera. Should be this one. It's the right one. Next, what you're going to want to do is add an create another empty object, call it camera offset, just to make sure that when you take off your headset, it doesn't, it doesn't glitch out or anything. And then we can just give it the same coordinates as our cockpit point. Just give it that same Y value. And then we can just give XR Origin the same Y value as well. Just keep things evened out. One thing you may notice, however, is that when you run the game, the camera isn't following the car. It's just like still. That's because you need to set up a Cinemachine. So we can just go to the cockpit camera, add component, Cinemachine, which we don't have. Cinemachine, we just install that. It should work for now. Should work. Yep, here we are, and it follows the mouse. Which is pretty cool, pretty cool. A proper POV. It's very nice. You can drive the car around. We, of course, edit the camera. For me, though, personally, this is kind of fine. Anywho, though, we can just go back to the XR origin, camera offset. This should be fine. Let's just add... we can just give it main camera. Although we will have to adjust it, as, you know, it'll be in VR, but, you know, from that, so we can honestly just adjust this. Oh no, here it is. Undo. Has the same coordinates. Is here. Just give it sort of like the same perspective. Although I personally like to have it kind of all the way back. Yeah, that works. For the main camera, we can adjust the clipping planes. Let's see, 0.3. That's, yeah, 0.3 should be fine. It's especially like if you're like in the couch. I mean, in the bench seat of the car. You can just go to the Ezreal CarController. You can go to tire audio and engine audio. You need both. You can't just have tire audio or engine audio, or it will not work. I've tried this before. So with tire audio, you can just go with tire sounds, engine audio, engine sound. I don't think it's set to anything, so let's see what happens. Yeah, no sound, no sound, no sound from that. So what we're gonna have to use So what we're gonna have to do is go to the actual body. Okay, here it is. So what we're gonna have to do is, you know, we go to it, and as you can see here, there's a missing audio resource. So for that, you just go to Vehicle Essentials, Vehicle Car. Let's go with Vehicle Truck, actually. It's a lot closer to the truck that we have. Alright, we have a bunch of audio clips here that we can listen to. Let's go with just engine sound effects. Alright, so let's just go with this sound effect. Let's go back to our engine sound. Just drag it as the audio resource. And for the tire sounds, honestly, since there isn't really, let's see, drive, let's see if we can find anything that has like braking noise. Usually what I do, I kind of just use the drive, one of the drive sound effects. Just go to tire sounds, just grab this one, and use that as the audio resource. Alright, so to sort of mess around with your controls, you can go to the actual assets, just go to Ezreal CarController. It should be in input actions, and here it is. So thankfully by default, right, I have my PS5 controller connected right now, and by default it should already have, you know, in-game set controls. You could also always like set controls, so like the restart button I just did triangle. You can just do path, you can just type in, you can press listen, you press whatever button you want, and it'll show up. And we just do triangle for the restart. Just press play. We should be able to control the vehicle. Alright, after this loads in, we just drive around. Just press brake. Let's see, turn signals are the D-pad, hazard lights, high beat headlights. Just press triangle restart. You can also go in the script itself and just completely get rid of the whole camera switch and functions. But if you want to always go back and be able to, you know, adjust, you know, what other types of cameras you can use in VR and stuff, we're just going to do the bare bones, the basics. So for now, honestly, it should work in VR, as in it will be displayed in VR. But because of how the mouse controls the camera movement, you won't be able to actually like have motor functions. Back to our XR origin, and just add a new component. Call it Input Action Manager. Another component. Just add an XR body transformer. So origin, yep, that's good. I'm gonna do locomotion mediator. And continuous move provider. And just choose XR origin right here. Forward source to cockpit camera. What I ended up doing was I copied the main camera, pasted it inside of the camera offset, which instead of XR origin, instead of cockpit points, instead of camera points. Not very necessary, but it is nice to have for when you do additional things. Next thing you want to do is add a track pose driver on this main camera. Let's see here, this should be the one that gets rendered in. We're gonna have this one turned off. This one should be inside. Yep. Unfortunately, you can no longer control it with the mouse, but if you press V, you should be able to. Right, so next you want to go to main camera, add component, track pose driver, and that should be able to move your headset around in VR. One thing though is with the amount of points we have, we're gonna have to sort of mess around with the height of the cockpit point. Let's see here, let's go to cockpit point, camera points. Let's adjust this a little bit. We always want to do it from the very, very top. And we'll just move it down. Alright. Next, what you want to do is make sure you have opened MetaQuest link. Make sure you're signed in. Make sure you have your device registered and connected. And so what you want to do is, I personally have it plugged in physically with a USB-C. You don't have to, but it's always the best way of doing it personally. Even if you don't have USB-C drive, you could always buy one on Amazon that you can connect through to your motherboard. What will usually happen is you turn on your headset, you sign in. You're not going to be able to see this, but I'm currently signing in to my headset. Have it open. I kind of just have my finger over the sensor. You also make sure to confirm that you want to link finger over the sensor so that I can be looking at the monitor at the same time. And then we press play, and it should automatically go to it. One thing that's very common though is, yeah, I know it. Yep, it's gonna appear. The camera's gonna appear like it's very high up. That means that there's probably a position offset. So we can just check main camera, the X and Y. There it is. I'm trying to put that at 0. We're all on 0. Just kind of like start from there. Everything XR origin 0 0 0. We only want to mess around with the positioning of the parent. 0 0 0, so that everything is the same height. Where's she at? She's right there. So I'm gonna just move her up. So I assume we just put her at 0 as well. That's my bad. See how that goes. Okay, that's very, very low. But yeah, you can just keep playing around with it. Maybe a little bit higher. Let's see about here. Still too high. About 0.7. There we are. That's good. All you need. Honestly, this is, for me, this is fine. Yep, you can just look around and stuff. Down the steering wheel, you can adjust to whatever height you want. You should be able to still drive around. Yep. Currently using the keyboard. But yeah, optionally, you could, if you don't want to use like a regular POV from like the monitor, only VR, you could always go to the actual Ezreal CarController script and just completely delete the camera switch option. Because, you know, it's kind of buggy. But, yeah. That's all you really need to do. And that's part 2 of this series. Next time we're going to be creating a very simple menu system that's visible in VR, where you can start the game and restart when a condition is set when colliding with certain objects. In this case, we're going to be adding hitboxes to the trees so that when you collide with a tree, it'll create a game over screen and you'll be prompted to restart.